Okay, welcome Pure Signal on the road here at AWS reInvent. This is Jake Carter, joined as always with Kevin Erickson, and we have some special guests today. We are really excited to sit down with Jamie and Michael, the Chief Life Sciences team, and hear a little bit about what you've been working on, what you're doing here at AWS reInvent. If you don't mind to get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, what your roles are, and then we will pepper you with some annoying questions.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thanks for having us. My name is Jamie Zenos. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer of Achieve Life Sciences. We are developing a product for smoking cessation and nicotine dependence. So that includes vaping as well. As everyone knows, that's a huge growing epidemic. We've been working on this since 2017, so it's been quite some time, and we're very enthusiastic that we now have a PDUFA date, which is the date that the FDA will review our application, and we hope to be in market in the middle of next year. So there's still 29 million people who smoke in the U.S., and there has not been anything approved in smoking cessation for 20 years. So this is an incredibly high unmet need. There's so many people who are suffering and who need new solutions, and we're really looking forward to bringing those to market. Michael?
Great. Thanks for having us here today. Michael Collins, President, Health Wellness and Omnicom Advertising, and have the privilege of being the team leader across all Omnicom agencies for Achieve, as Jamie came to us just about 4 years ago and said, this is what we're launching, this is what we're doing. I need someone who's on the journey with us all the way through. And I'm going to need a lot of things, but I need all of those things to be great.
Okay, so Jamie, I'll start this off. This podcast, we spend a lot of time talking about the intersection of business and technology. So Achieve is a little bit of a darling right now, and I think it's super interesting what you're doing from the pharmaceutical standpoint, but it's also really interesting how you're building your commercial structures as you're going. So do you mind talking a little bit about how you're thinking about really just building a modern marketing stack to the extent that you can talk about what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Michael mentioned, I came to Omnicom several years ago with a number of problems that we needed to solve for. And one of those was that Achieve is a very small 33-person life sciences company, and we are looking to address a massive public health crisis. And so one of the pushbacks that we would get from investors and from just the general community is, how do you intend to pull this off? Mm-hmm. And so I started thinking about the consumerization of healthcare and how decisions are being made and what customers are doing differently, as far as how physicians are no longer able to see reps based on the buying groups that implement restrictions to access. And so the model that pharma has always delivered on is we put a lot of field reps out there to a very expensive price tag per head, and we have them knock on doors hoping to get time with our physicians when really they aren't able to access them anymore. And so I started to think, how are we going to be able to deliver these important messages and this important information about this new treatment when we can't get in front of our doctors? And so that's where the intersection of technology comes, because we started to look at how are they receiving information from pharma, and how are they engaging, and how can we meet them where they are instead of cramming things down their throat when they don't want to engage with you. And so that's really how this all started. And also looking at other industries, I think pharma's always been kind of last to the party. And so what are other industries and companies doing to share their messages and to engage with their customers, to meet them where they are, and to find out how they're utilizing the products and how they can do better? And so that's really how this kind of all started, is breaking the model and finding a better way to do what we need to do, which is really important. We have to get these medicines to patients, and we can't afford to fail.
I love that. So being at reInvent, you can't walk down the hall without seeing at least 5 AI ads.
Yeah.
So I know that AI is part of how you've been thinking about this, this entire motion of delivering the pharmaceutical to the patients who need it. But can you tell us a little bit about how that's been part of what you're building?
So I think what you typically see in pharma and what makes Achieve a little different is that we're not just using AI for content development and for expediting the amount of materials that we can get in front of our customers. What we're doing is building it out as the entire infrastructure of our platform. So we have the beauty and the luxury of being able to build this from the ground up, which is what Credera is helping us do. I think it's been coined as the Barbie dream house by some of your colleagues, because you don't have to go in and retrofit and fix things that, we don't have a broken model. We get to build the house from scratch. So you don't have to rewire our plumbing. It's going to be put in right the first time. So we're really excited about that. But I think, when we think about AI use specifically, we're able to do more predictive analytics to see how our customers will respond to the messages that we're generating. And the content development is that's the end game. But
Right.
like how do we make sure what we're saying is going out to the right people, that it's generating the right responses, and that we're measuring and optimizing all of that. And we will be using AI throughout our entire infrastructure to make sure we're doing the right things.
Nice. Michael?
I can add to that.
Yeah, general contractor perspective.
Yeah.
So, and I think to add on to that, AI was never the strategy. AI is the enabler of the strategy. And so as a smaller biotech, your premise wasn't to solve smoking in the US. It was to help the hundreds and thousands of people who are talking to their doctors, even as we speak, who are in need of better help to quit smoking. And so this was how do we then find better matches of the physician with the patient in the right market access situation, and reduce some of the noise that's out in the marketplace to help those people find the right match. And that's where, as a business strategy, merging with the technology capability, to say, let's use this in service of our strategy, not our strategy in service of the technology.
Yeah.
And that's I think a fundamental premise across the business, across the board, in how we work and how we operate and how we run our teams is AI is not the point, but AI can help us reach the point we're trying to get to.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that. Not to take the mic from you, Kevin, but we did an episode a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about where AI goes wrong, and that was exactly one of the learnings. I think this is fairly common now, but it's getting the equation backwards, right? Of it is not in itself the end; it's trying to get you to some other end.
Yep. Well, maybe building a little bit on the Barbie dream house, I just wanted to say one part of my job when I'm not doing this is I get to go around and spend time with our team. I just want to know how much our teams love working with Achieve and Michael working in the broader kind of ecosystem. So I just want to thank you publicly for that. That you guys, it's really, really cool. And then, we always say we like our clients, but what's found in this case is it's very clear. And I think where at least to my question is going back to this idea that you are building from scratch. You are taking the ideas and learning through that. So some of that's on the tech side, some of it's more on the marketing, how you interact. So I just love to have a little bit from your perspective as you're thinking about just where you're at in your journey in your company, and just how does that play out next? While you're here, and what you're thinking about that are just really around how do you think about all the day job of how do you launch this company? At the same token, I'm sure in your role, the little bit that I've interacted with you before, like you're thinking about where you go with this, how it looks like, how it's a much bigger problem. It's a really fun, I think, problem and challenge to be thinking about.
It's a lot to unpack.
Well, yeah, I've been known to ask one question with like 7 or 8 tangents, everyone around you. So I apologize. You can choose.
Right. The nice part of that.
You can choose which one you want to work through. And
I'll start with the compliments.
Yeah,
Thank you very
yeah.
much. It's been all my children are my favorite, but you guys have a very special place in my heart, and what we've been able to do together has just been remarkable in the short time that we've worked together. I mean, I tell Kevin King all the time that like everyone I have met at Credera is so impressive. And it's just, it's been such a privilege. I've learned so much from your team, and I keep learning. And so ask me what I want to do or what I'm learning here at AWS. I have no idea, because I didn't know what I know now yesterday. I just continue to learn so much from everyone, and the experience has been incredible for me. We have a big job to do. And as you said, like I think about, these are all the things that keep me up at night. It's what we need to do first is make sure that we are educating physicians to prescribe our medication to the right people. And so coming back to how we're going to use the technology and the data that we have access to is understanding who wants to quit smoking, what are the differentiating features of those patients and attributes that will give us the ability to reach them and to educate them and to motivate them to go talk to their doctor. And also on the other side to ensure we're doing the same with the physicians to make sure they're giving it to the right people. Because what we don't want to do is encourage broad spread use of the product and people not be successful with quitting. Because our goal ultimately is to end the dependence on nicotine, to get people to stop smoking, to we're not going to be able to cure disease, but to prevent these preventable diseases, because smoking is the leading cause of preventable disease and death. And so by getting the right people on the medication, we'll be able to generate more advocacy, and we'll have a broader opportunity to help more people. So that's really kind of our short-term goal, is just making sure we're talking to the right people and saying the right things.
Well, I love that, and I love the passion that you're just even sitting next to you, and just the story. But it is so much fun to have a product and a company and idea that has a benefit that can impact so many different people. And yeah, we don't always get that in our roles and our clients, and how sometimes it's. And so I think it's really fun, and really not even fun. It's really special to be able to do that. So thank you again for allowing for us to do that with you and play a small part to help support your dreams and objectives, and really for blowing that company as you're building that company. To kind of wrap us up here, I mean, I just love if there's any final thoughts that you may have here. And just, I know this is as many that have been at reInvent before, it is a marathon of over 4 days of working through that. I know that you have many meetings that you're doing. So I want to thank you again for taking a few minutes to join us. But any final thoughts that you want to share here, or we'll get you out of here and you're going to the next thing.
No, just thank you again for having us and for being on this journey with us. And as I said, I didn't know so much that I've learned in such a short period of time. So I appreciate all of that, and for all of your teams and all the work that they're doing. We are solving big problems, and I appreciate the patience that the team has had with us as we do that, because we're working through things together. And I think that's a great partnership. It's not, we don't come to you and dump our problems on the desk and say, fix them. We want to work through them together. So I appreciate that you guys are doing that for us.
We're grateful to do it.